That's where we're going to welcome in our first guest this hour. Political commentator and Newsmax contributor Michael Reagan joins us now. He's the son of President Ronald Reagan and the author of the book Lessons My Father Taught Me. Be sure and check out his articles by going to newsmax.com. Always good to see you, Michael. You know, going to the media's reaction to this, I kind of brought this up in the first hour. It kind of reminded me of the Heidi Super Bowl a little bit. Do you think that CNN's going to regret this call to sit there and go away from the coverage of these 3 American hostages landing, meeting with the president, the first lady, and then instead focusing the audience's attention on Avenatti and Stormy Daniels?
Well, they're already suffering in the polls. I mean, you look at the polls, you look at the numbers, CNN is where? At the bottom. So they're already suffering. And I don't think they really care. Because if they cared, they'd be changing their dynamic, in fact, how they cover these situations. I stayed up last night with my wife and watched it. It was just unbelievable to sit there and watch. In fact, I took pictures of my television with my iPhone and saved them on my iPhone for posterity, and then went out and tweeted them out. I mean, it was unbelievable to sit there and watch what happened last night. Historic event, great event for everybody.
Michael, you know, we look at what's happening with President Trump and North Korea. This is one of those pivotal moments where, as a nation previously, we would all come together and just celebrate the fact that this is just good news. Of course, there's a point to be made about North Korea, and we can't really trust them quite yet, but this is a significant development. But I wanted to ask you, Michael, you know, I'm also thinking about Reykjavik and your dad and the significant events that took place there, and the way the media treated President Reagan in the first couple years of his first term. He's an actor. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't get anything done. You know, we've drawn these parallels before with President Trump, but last night in particular, like you, I stayed up late to watch the hostages come home. My 1-year-old son was up because he was hungry, and I was sitting there. He was next to me in bed. We were watching the hostages come home, and I can't wait to tell him 20 years from now that we watched that in bed together. But,
oh, that's cool.
You know, this really kind of just cuts to the fact that what you were saying about CNN, they have a product that they're trying to sell to the audience, and it's clearly not bringing the country together.
No, they don't want to bring the country together. If they did, they'd be covering these things, have a positive, outlook, positive statements about what's going on instead of questioning everything that the president is doing. But you're right. I mean, they did the same thing with my father, with Reykjavik. They did. And, I would say to Donald Trump that sometimes the best deal you can get is walking away from the deal. As my father walked away from Reykjavik, Trump can walk away from Singapore because he's already won. There's 3 Americans back home.
Newsmax TV. Watch us on Dish, DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, Verizon Fios, or download our free app. Don't have Newsmax TV? Call your local cable provider and request Newsmax today.